Hello everyone and welcome to Laguna Seca. This is the next track guide, and basically I just done a race there recently and I thought I'd talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the track and some things you can identify where it would help improve your lap time, improve consistency and things like that. So Laguna Seca is an American track and it's got a few famous corners like the corkscrew, so we'll be visiting that. The track is 2.2 miles in length and has quite a big elevation change of 180 feet or 55 meters, however you look at your measurements. And what we'll do is we'll just go through a slow-mo of a lap and then we'll look at a flying lap. Basically I went into a Nissan 370Z, did a few flying laps, and then this is the slow-mo of the fastest lap, and then you'll have the full speed version, and then I can talk about some of the things I'll look out for. So let's get the slow-mo lap underway now. So essentially you're going to cross the start finish line and instantly we're straight onto turn 1. Now turn 1 is more sort of a flat out, slight just non-straight essentially, and the main first corner really is turn 2, which is the Andretti hairpin. So just try and take this corner as normal as you would, but you want to venture out to the right side of the track. You instantly see the 5 board, the 4 board, the 3 board. You want to brake between the 4th and the 3rd board, number 4, number 3, sorry. That's generally where most cars will brake, and you've got 3 ways to take this next corner. I would generally trail brake in, and it doesn't matter if you miss the first apex or the first curb, because to me the faster way is to go out wide to then come back in again just to get a better run out the corner. You can do it really tight as well in some cars where it's actually quicker. You have to play around with that. Be careful on the exit though, because the gravel can pull you to the right hand side if you touch it, so do be careful of that. Always try and make sure you stay on the track at this point, and then you instantly go to the left hand side. You're already hitting the boards for the next corner, but generally you brake around the 2 area. You have to be careful with this corner because if you turn in too early you will run out wide, and the corner wants you to turn in early. You will always find when you first hit this corner that you'll run out wide straight away. So if you turn in a bit later, try and get a bit of oversteer because that will help you get around the corner, and then just be careful on the exit again with the dirt and the gravel pulling you off, and that's the end of the first sector straight away. So as we come into this fast right hand corner, I normally brake between the 2 and the 1 depending on the car and the grip I've got. You want quite a late turn in, just like you actually hit the curbing on the inside. That curbing will help you get round a little bit because it just gives you a bit extra grip. And then once again, careful on the exit. The gravel again will pull you out wide. You can sort of touch it a little bit here. You will get a bit of oversteer, but just being that bit more aggressive may help a lap time. So that's something to think about if you're trying to go for a fastest lap on this track. So as we approach turn 5, once again we've got the helpful numbered boards on the right hand side, and I normally brake between the 3 and the 2 in most situations, and I go for quite a late apex. So you can see already the racing line turns in. I usually wait a bit longer, try and turn in a bit later just so I get more use of the camber on the exit so I can accelerate quicker. If you turn in early, you might have to hold back on the throttle a little bit. If you turn in later, it doesn't matter if you run wide a little bit because you can still carry the speed out. And that's also a good place to try and overtake on the outside as well, because a lot of people try and stay sharp on the inside, can run around the outside, and the camber will help you. So we're coming to the end of Sector 2 now, and at the end of Sector 2 we have the fast Turn 6. Now we've got the numbered boards on the right. In this situation I brake around the 2 area, and then you want to start turning. Now you want your car to be central as you hit sort of the red area of the curbing, because it'll give you the most control and most use of the camber, and if you hit that perfectly, you've got full control of the exit. You can just flat it basically and you'll gain a massive amount of time. The more speed you go through that corner, you get a huge gain up this hill, because obviously it's a huge elevation change at this point. You're going uphill, so 1 mile an hour difference can make all the difference all the way up here. So we are now approaching the corkscrew, the famous corkscrew. Basically your braking point is either going to be just before the crest of the hill, on the crest of the hill, or just after. Generally speaking, when I brake on the corkscrew, I usually dab a bit of throttle because that will stop any oversteer and it means my braking is more effective. I then go for a very tight first turn in. This is so I can just start putting the throttle down straight away. If you go for a later turn in, you're going to get this second part wrong, and you don't really want that to happen. You'll find on that little bump on the second part of the corkscrew, it may push your car sideways. Just go half throttle, 3/4 throttle if that happens. And that's the end of sector 3. This next corner, turn 9, you'll want to turn in early again, but because it's so long, you want to turn in quite later, because then you can just flat it round. You want to make sure you hit that curb in, because if you hit that curb in, you know you're going to make the corner. If you run wide at all there, you'll go into the gravel, so you got to be careful. You instantly want to push yourself towards the left, ready for turn 10, and this is a very early turn in. You want to brake at the 2 or even just before usually, and you want to turn in very early. You want to use all the camber you can. If you run wide, you're going to go wide on the exit, and running wide on the exit is very bad here, especially with the last corner coming up. So if you get a good exit round there, do watch out for the pit entrance, because if you go in there, it can invalidate some laps. But if you nail that corner, this is the perfect overtaking place, turn 11. So you brake between the 3 and the 2, depending on the car you're in, and it's a very, very hard braking phase. It's a very sharp turn. Once again, you want to use all the curb on the inside, and the nice thing about this corner is you've got a lot of exit curb. So what it allows you to do, it allows you to accelerate really aggressively out the corner, because you've got enough space on the exit. If you do get it wrong, you can still catch it without worrying too much about the gravel, and of course as well there's a bit of tarmac there, which will also help you catch it. So that was a quick guide of Laguna Seca in the slow-mo. Some things to think about there are mainly just you've either got to turn in early or turn in late on quite a lot of these corners. It depends on the corner and the camber and things like that. There's some good overtaking spots there as well, especially turn 11, so that's something to think about. But we're now going to jump into the fast lap, full speed of this fast lap now in the 370Z, and I'll try to talk through it very, very quickly. So it's going to be a 137.4 that we're aiming for, so instantly we come straight across, ignore turn 1 really, and we come up to the Andretti hairpin. Between 4 and 3 is the best bit. Try and venture out to the white line, because it gives you a better turning angle in. Generally, you don't have to hit the first apex, but hitting the second apex is more key, and you want a good run out here. Watch out for the gravel. Coming into this corner, turn a bit later, use the brake boards again, turning slightly later. A bit of oversteer can help there, and once again watch for the gravel. That's the end of sector 1. Coming into this fast right, want to turn in late, want to make sure we hit the curb in, get a bit of extra grip there, pulls you in a little bit, get a good exit. You can use the gravel a bit there, just don't go too far wide because you'll hit the really deep stuff. Coming into this corner, you can turn in early and stay tight, turn in late and be more aggressive there, and you won't actually have much risk there because the camber will still pull you around. This is the key corner. You've got to get this right. I normally brake around the 2 area and make sure I center the car over there, because I can instantly put my foot down. I've got full control of it, and I'm in control of the car at that point, and I'm not going to run wide. Coming up to the corkscrew, I want to brake hard. I normally just dab the throttle slightly just to make sure that the car's not oversteering and I get full braking effectiveness, and then make sure the car is under control going through the corkscrew when you hit that bump. This corner you want to turn in late. Make sure you hit the curb. Don't run too wide on the exit, and then we want to turn in early for this turn 10. Make sure you hit the curbing on the inside and get good throttle out. Don't run too wide. Coming into here, it's all about being aggressive on the exit here. You've got enough space to be aggressive, so instantly flat out there. You saw a little twitch of the car, but I had enough space to control the car. That's a lap of Laguna Seca. I hope that helps, and I'll see you at the next track guide.